you think it's going to work this time? This is
There's only one way to find out.
episode 4, but for you, the world, it is episode 1. We've had every issue under the sun. Technology doesn't like us. And considering we would say we are quite tech savvy, nope is the answer to that.
I'd never describe myself as tech savvy.
No.
No, not in a million years.
What, like, so if you were to come across a new piece of technology, you don't think you would be able to handle it?
Oop.
Different country. Japan, for example.
No,
Toilets.
no, I wouldn't. In Japan, like a lot of their restaurants are like partly self-automated.
What do you mean?
So you know how here we've got the screens where you can order what you want at McD's,
Yeah, but that's not
and then
really
go
a
to the counter and get it.
Are we now saying that's a restaurant?
What?
I went on fucking about technology in Japan,
Yeah.
and then you said like restaurants.
So basically, all the iPad and terminal ways you can order in this country are all at fast food chains, right? But in Japan,
Yes.
it's like over 60% of all restaurants, not just fast food. You order through technology.
I don't. So there's just people just serving the food.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
Like,
you don't have to deal with people. You don't have someone coming over to you every fucking 10 minutes like, you okay? Have you seen the menu? Do you want a drink? Should I start you off with some drinks? What about some water? Bottled water? Like, oh, fucking leave me be for a minute. I've just got it.
yeah, but sometimes you want to ask the waiter questions, right? I don't want to.
No.
I don't want to walk into an establishment
No.
and be greeted with Morse code straight away,
No.
especially if you're an older person. It's even more
100%.
difficult.
But the only reason you ask a question is because there's not enough information, right?
Yeah,
That's the only reason. Here's my point to this, right? How many times do people defer away from actually communicating with someone, like picking up the phone, getting an answer that way, instead of doing everything possible first, like checking, I don't know, a website, checking the instructions, checking a menu, for all this stuff before you have to go in? People do not want to have a conversation with someone. Ever.
No, everyone's got
Like, when you
social
have to-
anxiety
You
that's
have to
through the
book
roof.
something, and you have to then call up. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's so much effort. I want everything to be automated. I want to be able to do it myself, because I'm never really fucking wrong.
yeah, but I don't. When it comes to food and that, like,
What more is
if you're at a restaurant, I don't want to do stuff.
right? You
automated.
gotta understand.
I'd rather have someone come over to me.
That is at a restaurant, I would say the majority of the people there that are working there are doing it to fill some time, fill a second job, fill something where it's flexible enough for them. They don't really give a fuck. Unless you go to a top establishment and then they're like, yeah, maybe so. Most of the time, they don't even know what's on the fucking menu. They're reading it as you're turning it to them. They're like, oh, yeah, there's that. Oh, maybe that was just fucking me back in the day.
But I don't tend to go into places where I don't speak to someone. It's like when I go and get my coffee, right?
Yeah.
I'll go into somewhere like Cafe Nero or Costa where you got to speak to someone.
Right.
Okay. And then if I want to go out and have something to eat, obviously I don't go out a lot. So when I do go out, I go to like a decent restaurant, right?
Yeah.
When I actually speak to someone.
Mm-hmm.
I go to McDonald's a lot.
Yeah, go to McDonald's. What was your point to it?
I don't even know. Tech savvy. Would I sound tech savvy? No, I wouldn't. I hate robots and all sorts of shit.
So when
I would have been happy after the iPod Touch come out if all the technology finished then. Because I don't use a smartwatch. iPod Touch provides me with music on the go, which is all I really care about. I don't even really like having my phone. I hate the fact that people can call me anytime. And obviously I'm too much of a nice person. If my family or friends call me, obviously I'm not just going to pick
but that's
up.
the beauty of Do Not Disturb. If it's important.
Oh, mate, I live on Do Not Disturb.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah,
It's a fucking beautiful concept.
I just feel, though, like, you take away a lot of the mystery and surprise of life if you know what's going to happen as soon as you enter every situation. Whereas before, you could leave your house, right, walk 10 minutes down the road, and in that 10 minutes, like, you could be greeted by something you would never expect. But now, if something changes, someone just ring you.
Yeah.
And life becomes easier, but I don't like the fact that life becomes easier.
We're so like...
The easier, the more boring.
We're so on we're so involved from the minute we wake up off the day. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So like
It's true.
I would say the vast majority of people, me included, some days need to get better at it. But as soon as you wake up, you're involved with whatever the fuck is going on with that day. Have you seen this? Have you seen instantly?
The first thing you do is look at your phone because you turn the alarm off,
Fucked.
and then by turning it off, you see the messages.
Fucked.
And for example,
your brain's
right?
triggering early doors.
Yeah. And for example, because I went to the gym this morning, right, for that boot camp thing I was telling you about, if I see a message from my sensei that's running it, I'll look at that as soon as I wake up, because if something's happened and it's not on, I can go back to sleep.
Yeah, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So the second I wake up, I've immediately singed my eyeballs with this fucking screen of death, and I'll just think, oh, leave me alone.
It's just triggering. It's like as soon as you're, before your body's even waking, your brain's awake, you're filling it with information, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, and you just carry on with your day, and you just think that's a normal process, but your body's not even like, when you've gymmed, you showered, you've stretched, whatever it is, the feelings that you have are tenfold of what you did before at the start of the day, right? That can be, but just imagine you didn't have to touch your phone until like, I don't know, 10 a.m. Imagine you didn't have to. And the reason I say didn't have to is because we fucking have to. In some capacity, we have to be on our fucking phone. And we're not strong enough to just use it for fucking, I don't know, just a payment or one email or this or fucking that. It's like a constant time filler. No matter what we're fucking doing, it's a time filler. Like, I hate to say it, but you see it. People are driving, stop at a traffic light, phone straight out. You can tell the people that are on their fucking phones because they're either on the sly and their head's down like this, or they're blatantly just on their phone.
Some people just hold it like that. I see them driving down the road
on the phone. It's like, have you not got hands free yet? And they're like, Allah. I never understand it. In their car, and you're telling me you don't have hands free. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? And they're just, hello, what's going on? Yeah.
Some people just don't care, though. I mean, I think we both know someone who we was talking about earlier who used to drive like this back in the day. And he used to be like that.
I've never understood it. I've never understood the lead.
But nowadays, it's bad, right? Because most vehicles have hands-free, right? So if you're on your phone, it's bad. Because, like, you could fucking kill someone, you know, just by not paying attention. I never answer my phone. Well, when obviously I was selling my car.
No, I called you and you didn't fucking answer. I was like, how can this cunt not be wanting to hear me speak right now?
Oh, mate, you know what it is? It's really hard to, like, how can I put it? Like, when you change your attitude on life, like I have over the past few months, it's hard to really convey to people how much you've changed, because now my social battery is probably running at a tenth of the capacity it did before. So I don't want to speak to anyone. I really don't.
Well, it's tough because you live it day in, day out, right? So it's like you're in essence, the film's been running for fucking 3 months, and then someone's trying to come along at the very end and trying to get a catch up of all that's happened so far, and you're just like, bro, I don't have the time to I don't have the time to tell you about everything that's just gone on in the past, because I don't really give a fuck, if I'm being honest with you.
Well, the thing is, now we're 27, right? So most people we know, they've cut down the amount they go out, including myself, because they want to save for, you know, mortgages and cars and things like this.
Death.
So exactly. So now we're doing less and less. There's even less stuff to talk about. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean I love my friends any less. I just got nothing to say because my life is fucking boring. It is. You know what I mean? Unless people to talk to me about, like, the UFC.
Yeah.
Or, you know, for something or Arsenal, whatever, something I will talk about.
It's a tough.
There's nothing else for me to talk about.
Where it's like,
can't be asked.
The people that you grew up with, as you grow older, and you widen your horizon and your mindset and your outlook on life and different things, it's like you then start to look around and see those people not in the same light. Not that they're not a friend still, but it's like
you change.
you change, right? So your viewpoints and the things that you used to find similar are now few and far between, but because they're still a long-term good friend, it's like, and I'm not saying you have to have complete similarities with everyone and anyone, but it does get to a stage where you're like, I can't ask you how work is when you don't give a fuck. Like, I think we were speaking about
everyone's job's boring as fuck. That's why.
When
no one has an interesting job.
It's tough.
If they did, they wouldn't know me.
It's tough to be around people when your mindset is very different.
You've got to try and take it, or try and convey it to people that it's not personal. Like, relationships
100%.
just change over time, you know, and that's all it is really. I mean, you can see it in your parents. Like, you know, people look at their parents, they might have friends that they're still friends with, but they don't see them nowhere near as much as they used to. Including my own parents. It doesn't mean they like those people any less. It's just, you know, people get different priorities. They get older, they get less time, they get less money. It's weird, like, as we get older, we earn more money, but we actually have less money.
Yeah.
Because you got more bills.
100%.
Like, you know, if I start earning over, like, 80 grand a year, but then I have, like, 2-3 kids, I've probably got less expendable cash when you take away that, the mortgage.
Yeah.
Whereas when I was working at Tesco during college, mate,
you're loving life, right?
Yeah, I was making like £1,000 a month.
It's all yours.
Gave my mum like 200 quid, had £800 to save. But did I save it?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
If people knew, here's a question: if people knew their roots in life, so they saw the timeline, do you think a lot of people would change what they're currently doing? Because when you speak to the vast majority of people, I hate to say it, but they this is no fucking white lie, is that people lack ambition, right? They lack drive, they lack passion, they can't. And I think it's a very rare trait to find something that you truly believe in, that you are passionate about, and that you can then earn a living from. And that's when it's like work doesn't feel like work. So if people would know their destiny, do you think they would try and change it?
Well,
because people moan non-stop like, oh, my fucking, you know, it's just work. And it's like, if you were to ask them honestly, would you want to change it? I'd say the vast majority of people would say no, because it's stepping out of a comfort zone that they're so used to.
The problem with that, right, is you never know what you want to do until you do something that's not what you want to do.
Yeah.
Right?
100%.
So, I mean, looking back as a kid, fucking hell, I don't even know what was my dream. Probably to play for Arsenal, right?
Fuck Arsenal.
But how much can you actually change that? Because if you're not good at football, you're not good at football.
No.
You know what I mean? And there's plenty of jobs I've had. I've had fucking shitloads of jobs, right? And the reason is because, you know, I get bored easily.
Yeah.
And I don't know whether there's any career I could actually have.
But
because I think it's just my nature. I go through like 2 or 3 year cycles where that's my extent of anything, because I've done it. I feel like I've done it, you know, even like.
But that's a bit like with just jobs in certain, just industries and stuff. It's like, or job roles, you should try, like, the more you change role or leave the company or leave companies, the more you get paid. It's like, I forget the fucking stat, but it's like you can earn tenfold the amount that you. Tenfold is definitely not the number, but it's some type of figure which is huge, and that's from not staying within the same company but learning, expanding, moving on.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely career hop. I mean, if you sort of plan it well, every like 3 to 5 years, you should really change, unless obviously you keep getting offered more money to stay. It depends on people's situations. Like, people don't want to move if they've got commitments to the area, especially if they've got kids. If you've not got kids, you don't really have any excuse to be
anything, man.
Yeah, to be
absolutely anything,
unsatisfied in your job, because you can just literally change it. Which is quite I'm quite grateful that I've sort of woken up to that now. I'm just in the process of trying to pick something that I want to divert into, you know. But fortunately for me, at the current situation, I do actually have a decent job, which is quite fulfilling. So, yeah.
Do you think if people did know that that they're like they were gonna die at fucking I don't know 50 from something, maybe a world war, who fucking knows at this stage? I don't think people would actually like change that much. They'd probably want to change, but like you were saying, you have to put yourself into positions of uncomfortability, and it's like everyone wants to be better. This is always what I find the craziest part. It's like everyone wants to be better. Everyone wants to earn more money. Everyone wants to have a happier life, but no one actually wants to do the fucking work to get there.
Some people are very happy with very basic stuff, though. You know, there's nothing wrong with a life of peace and prosperity. Some people want a life of like myself. I'd love to go to war.
Yeah,
I would, right? Because that's something I want to experience as a human being. I like to do things right on the edge as much as I can. You know, there's things I want to do that I haven't done. I'd love to skydive.
Hang on.
I'd love to go surfing in Hawaii.
We're not skirting over this. We're not skirting over this part. No. So you'd be happy?
Yeah, I would be.
You said this to me before, but like you'd be happy to go to war.
Yeah, I would be ecstatic.
For what purpose?
I don't even care what the cause is at this stage.
That sounds completely absurd. That sounds fucked.
Yeah, but I mean, people didn't have a choice back in the day.
I know, but we're not back in the day, bro. I hate to tell you that.
Yeah, but
we're here and now.
No matter what, there's never been a just cause for any war.
Of course there was.
Really.
Well, not for the start points, no.
But it's all come down to the selfish of another person, whether it's one person like Hitler, all right, or
fuck him,
a conglomerate of evil people like Iraq and Afghanistan, and the higher ups in America, and this country like Tony Blair as well.
Can't.
Yeah, but so there's never really going to be a just war. So yeah, I would just like to experience it. I think it'd be great. I think I'd thrive in that type of environment, to be honest with you.
In a
sick as that
war.
sounds. Yeah, whereas some people that would be their worst nightmare.
100%, bro.
Yeah.
I want to live for a very long time, and do you know what war does? That brings down that percentage very, very fast.
I don't think it really matters how long you live, right? Because
what do you mean?
Well, you're not going to fucking remember it anyway.
Yeah, but this is the point. I'd
rather find
life,
out.
Though. Are you not like?
Yeah, but you can find beauty in war. There's been loads of different poems.
In war. What's their beauty?
Of course there is,
where's
mate.
Their beauty?
Well, I mean, shows that we like Band of Brothers.
No.
Films like Fury.
That's because
you can't say there's no beautiful moments in those movies.
They're so far detached from our reality. We fascinate over that, because it's so far away from from our comfort.
But every life, right, should be a journey of self-discovery. You will never truly know who you are until you're in the most extreme environment like warfare.
I don't know if that's quite true.
And I'm also aware that I'm a primate, and it's in my genetic code throughout human history is war, and I want to fulfill that purpose. I do. I'd love to go to war. I wouldn't want this country to go to war. Like, I wouldn't want my brothers involved.
But that's what war
I
is.
would rather go away and fight for some militia group.
Yeah,
somewhere.
What the fuck are you talking about, bro?
Well,
taking LSD. What the fuck are you talking about?
Well, like Che Guevara, right? He wasn't Cuban.
Right.
He's from Argentina.
Uh-huh.
But he's a Cuban revolutionary. I'd like to do something like that. Go to another country and fight for their cause. But just to experience war.
You just
I don't care if I believe in it or I really don't.
You said it from the very start. Like wars are created by evil, right? And there's never really a purpose for war, and that's exactly the point. Like, why the fuck would you want to put your life at risk for something that means and matters for absolutely nothing apart from greed? And that's all that wars are. So why the fuck?
But
why can't we all just love one another, bro? That's the whole point. Love one another.
It's not human nature. It's not human nature because it's not.
fucking like
It's
like
not human
we,
nature,
like
mate.
we know what we're fucking talking about, bro. We're floating on a rock in the middle of nowhere, and we
Yeah.
apparently we meant to know what's going on.
Yeah,
We're
yeah,
sitting here.
yeah. You're
like, we
not.
have
You're not.
half-
You're not meant to know.
Like we have half a clue what's going on. We have no idea.
Yeah.
Even the smart people, they do all these fucking equations and shit. And guess what? 100 years, 1,000 years later, they all get proven wrong. So guess what? Those 100 to 1,000 years, everyone lived their fucking lie. And then you live another lie until that gets proven different.
Yeah, well, I mean, history's written by the victor. So, I mean, all the textbooks that we were taught and given in school, and obviously not just this country, all around the world, probably false, really. You have to actually self-educate yourself if you actually want to know what went down in human history. But yeah, I'd love to go to war. I'd love to skydive.
That is such a segue.
I'd
love to go to
yeah.
war, but I'd also love to
Yeah.
skydive.
I'd love to surf in Hawaii.
Well, guess what? All of that wouldn't be happening if there's a war.
No, true, but my point is they're all extreme events that some people, you know, like yourself, you can't understand why I'd want to do those
No
things.
way.
But
I don't understand it. Life's too
I
beautiful.
want to, yeah.
Life's way too beautiful.
Well, I find beauty in like extreme stuff.
Yeah, go for
Yeah.
a cold plunge. Go for a sauna. Be there for a while.
That's not that extreme, mate.
That's well, if it's fucking cold enough. and
Cold
hot
water, that ain't extreme, mate.
What if you were in an ice bath for how long?
I could ice bath would be fine. It
What?
wouldn't bother me at all.
No way. You'd fucking.
Wouldn't bother me at all.
Squirmer. You'd squirm away. You'd squirm away. Fuck. I can't agree on it. Sorry, mate. It's just not a wars are created and made, and the people that fight are more heroic than any person or than any amount I could ever be, should I say? And I applaud everyone in that. But I think what they fight for, they say it's to protect. Well, if from the very start, if those people don't create an issue, then we're all good. We're all fucking on this planet trying to survive. And we don't even know what's going on, so it just hurts my brain to ever think that there has been it feels so far detached that wars have occurred, and wars are happening right now, so I'm not trying to fucking
Yeah, but you have to think of it this way, right? If you enjoy this current world and the society we live in, right? If you enjoy the things it has to offer that capitalism has brought us, right?
Yeah. Oh fuck.
Like the fact that you can go get a Starbucks or a MacBook, anything like that, right?
Yeah.
None of that would be possible without war. Because before World War II and World War One, right? Before those two great wars, everyone sort of had an allotment or grew fruit and veg in their garden. There was no real sort of... There was a few companies, but probably less than 100 in the country. Everyone pretty much made their own stuff. And obviously everyone had less stuff. So, you know, people wanted for less. Only after the devastation of war, when the country needed to be rebuilt, did you get the takeoff of industry, engineering, manufacturing. And that has grown and developed into what we've got today. So if you enjoy, you know, the fruits of today...
Yeah.
It wouldn't be without war.
Of course.
Yeah.
And you think we should fucking enjoy life.
Yeah, but how
No.
much longer though are you gonna?
The people that fought and died
Yeah.
for us to
Yeah.
live a better life, we should enjoy fucking life. We shouldn't be so, oh, I want fucking what? Like, no.
But is this a better life?
Of course it's a better life. They fought for it. So we should what? We should not. We should just, you know what? There's wars before, so let's not enjoy life. People have fucking fought for rights, fought against oppression, fought for every single fucking thing under the sun so that we can live today. So guess what? We should enjoy life.
Yeah, I mean,
We could want better
I don't
life.
think it's a better life though than what our grandparents had.
Well, it is though.
I don't think so.
But it is.
But you can't say that.
I fucking can, because guess what? We're the furthest along that there's ever been, and I'm saying it's a better life.
But you weren't alive back then.
Bro, my point to it is
I speak to my grandparents, right?
Yeah, but my point to
And
it is
they
people,
seemed to be they
No.
seemed a lot happier at 27 than I am now.
Well, that's your mindset though.
No, it's not. It's just because I have to. If I want a fucking house, it's going to cost me about £500,000.
Right.
And work myself to death for some cunt.
Yeah, but everyone. That's that. Like,
And if I want fruit and veg, just sprayed with pesticides. You know what I mean? What sort of life is this? You know what I mean? I fucking...
what do you want to do then?
The only thing, right, honestly, the only thing, I swear to God, the only thing I would take, right, from this current day, if I could go back and, grow up in, like, the late 40s, 50s, 60s, the only thing I would take...
That.
The only thing I would take with me from today would be, like, the iPod and being able to listen to music on
Well,
the
guess
go.
what?
And podcasts.
Guess
And
what,
that'd be
bro? Guess what? Can't take it. You know why? Because
Yeah.
it's in the fucking future.
But do you know what? That's a fair trade.
I would go back to the Mad Men
It's a
times,
fair
whatever that
trade.
is, 60s,
I always remember
70s,
being in the
Don
car,
Draper,
right?
so I can smoke a fag, even though I don't smoke.
Yeah, being in the car with your parents and the song that you liked come on the radio, that might be 1 or 2 times the whole week you'd hear that song. Because you'd have to be in the car at a specific time, right?
Yeah, of course.
And each time you heard that song, it seemed more beautiful than it does now. Because I can just go on my phone, play it straight away. And there's songs that I love, right? But I've spammed them so much that I fucking can't even listen to anymore.
Yeah, but you've done that.
But most people do that.
No, but you've done it.
Yeah, of course. But it's like a rat in a cage, isn't it? If you keep spamming them with the drugs, they keep coming back until the point they fucking
But
die.
no one's forcing you to do it.
No, exactly.
Everything's a
But
choice.
that's why I've cut out my phone usage.
Everything's a choice, bro.
I got a message yesterday saying your screen time is down 4 hours from last week.
4 hours?
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Have you not been on your phone? Or were you on your phone so much the week before that?
The way I see it, right, is if I've got a message, it's not urgent. Unless that person calls me,
100%.
I don't need to be looking
That's
at that.
great.
If I don't feel like it.
No, look.
The only people I'll answer back straight away are my grandparents, and that's it.
Yeah, you take forever to reply to that.
Yeah.
Look, I just think we should. The people that died and fought for rights and all the stuff that people have done throughout time.
But they didn't know what they were fighting for. I fucking hate it when people
What do
say
you mean?
that.
Of course they
People
do.
sacrifice themselves for us.
They
It's like
did.
they didn't know what was going to happen.
What do you mean they didn't know? They wanted a better life
Right.
for the future.
No,
regardless.
mate,
regardless.
If you went to war right now, right?
Not going to fucking war.
No. If it happened right now,
Right.
right? If Hitler was alive now and we were all going off to
Oh,
France,
fuck yeah,
right?
bro.
I wouldn't be thinking about future generations.
But what are you doing it for then?
Well, I'd be thinking about protecting my family now.
Which will then entail...
I couldn't give a shit about my great-grandkids. I don't care about my great-grandkids now. I don't. If I have great-grandkids, yeah, you think I'm going to give a fuck about it? I'm never going to meet them. I'm never going to meet them, mate. Never going to meet them.
What do you
I'm
mean,
not bothered.
bro?
Why would I care about people I will never know? You know what annoys me, right?
Family tree and that.
People
I care about that shit, bro.
go back and they go, if I could go back in time, I'd go and meet my first ancestor.
Who
I'd
the
go
fuck
back,
has ever said that?
I'd go back. Oh well, the history podcast I listen to. I'd
Fucking
go
burn
back.
that.
I'd go back 200 years. I'd go back 500 years. All them shows like Who Do You Think You Are? And they go, oh, and they look up their great. And I'm like, do you think if you could go back and talk to that person, they give a toss about you?
No,
They don't know
They'd
you.
be speaking different language or some
Yeah,
bullshit. It'd
like,
be like Morse code.
For us to be here, right, we've all come from a person that lived thousands of years ago.
Yes.
If I went back and met them, if we could communicate, I wouldn't give a toss.
I don't know. But
It's so far in the future, they can't even comprehend.
But you were
And
saying...
like my great grandkids, I hope I have great grandkids. Yeah, it'd be great to have the kids and a family and that. It would. But ultimately, don't really care if I ever meet them. I don't, because it's so alien. Like maybe not great, because I know my great grandparents, but so like great.
Yeah.
Because like I'm never gonna know them. I just don't. I'm sorry, but I don't care. Like, I really don't.
Oh
And
my
I
fucking
wouldn't
God.
expect my great grandparents to give a fuck about me either.
Yeah,
It's so far removed.
But no, it's not so far.
It is. It is, mate. The things that make you identify with your family
Yeah.
are looks,
Mm.
personality traits.
Oh, don't know
Yeah.
about that.
Well, even
Sometimes.
mannerisms and stuff
Yeah,
like that,
yeah,
right?
Of course. But that's because you're whipped round
similar
a lot.
tastes in things, even things like food and music and whatever. But by the time you get to like great grandparent, that's so far removed. It's like they may as well be a stranger. You know, 'cause it's so far removed. You probably look completely different.
Yeah.
You know, like I look a little bit like all my grandparents, right?
Uh-huh.
But I look at I've met a couple of my great grandparents. Even pictures of them when they were young, I can't tell that we're related because it's just so far removed by that point. So I don't really care.
It just fucking tickles me.
And I just
sometimes.
I don't think the people in World War II or World War One thought that either. So I fucking hate that statement.
So
They fought for the future. Fuck it, mate. I tell you what. When you chat to old people now, they're so ashamed of our generation. I don't think they would have fought for this.
Oh, they fucking need to chill out, man. We're just trying to enjoy life.
Yeah.
You can enjoy life and want to help people, and not want to harm people. Like that should just be it. Enjoy life, help people, and not harm people.
I would enjoy
Done.
life if
Finished.
there was no other people.
It'd just be you. You'd be fucking your caveman.
It's other people that annoy me. Yeah, I mean, if I won £1 million tomorrow,
What'd you do?
I wouldn't be buying properties. I wouldn't be investing. I wouldn't be creating this. I wouldn't be creating that.
Fuck.
I would go and buy the most remote farm in Ireland, and you would never see me again. That's exactly what I
would
would
you do. Just live off the land.
Yeah, that's what would
You
make
couldn't
me
live
happy.
off the land.
Fucking
You
suck.
fucking
Kiss
couldn't.
my fucking ring piece.
You
I'd tell a
couldn't
lie.
live off-
I would buy like a really expensive coffee machine just because I wouldn't want to drive like 20 miles into
Oh,
town
yeah,
to
you'd be
get
fucked.
a Nero. I'd just want
Fucking
to
20 miles
make
for a
it.
Nero.
I'd want to make it at home.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, but you forget I've done that. You forget I've camped in Ireland. Wild,
Yeah, but look,
wild camps for like
I'm
over a
saying
week.
fucking live, kid.
It'd be fun, mate. I love animals. I absolutely adore animals.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to come check in on you every so often, see if you're dead. See if you're dead or not. You've been eaten by fucking, I don't know, what's over there.
Nothing.
It's fucking
There's literally
now.
nothing there. That
Absolutely
nothing there
now.
that could kill you. Nothing.
So you think that your family tree and shit, you did the DNA thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you think, what's the point in you doing the DNA thing then if you don't give a fuck?
It was a present.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah. You mug. Yeah, so I bought it for me as a present.
Fuck. So not a good fucking present then, was it?
It was interesting, yeah, because I got obviously 1.5% Nigerian, and that blew my mind.
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
You didn't tell me that.
Yeah, so like my granddad, my mum's dad.
1.5%
Yeah, yeah. So my mum's
That's
my
great.
my granddad on my mum's side, his mum was from Belgium, right?
Right.
And owned a lot of farmland in Belgium, and they also owned farmland in the Belgian Congo, which is modern day Nigeria or part of it.
Mm.
So we traced it back. So 1.5% equates to like, it would be my granddad's 6 times grandparent was obviously a black person.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck about you.
So yeah, exactly. So far, I mean, look at me. I'm ginger and with freckles.
And 1.5%
Exactly.
Nigerian.
Yeah. Exactly, mate. It's completely insignificant.
Didn't you
really.
also say that there's like there was a percentage that like is unaccounted for? How much was it?
Oh yeah. So basically, I was saying that if what it should be, right, is like you should, because obviously my dad and my granddad done a DNA test.
Yeah.
So my dad should come up as 50% shared segments, and my granddad should be 25, but it's less. It's like 49 point something and 27 point something. 23 point something.
Yeah, yeah.
So then it will be the same on my mum's side and my other grandparents' side. So really, it doesn't make the full pie. There's a little few percents there that just come from like the atoms.
So you're saying you've like partly made off of an alien?
Well, we all are. We all effectively the product of exploded stars, you know, that have materialised into this. And that's all that's happened.
The space shit just blows my fucking brain. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It almost annoys me when people try and understand it. Like, I go to my mum's house and they watch like Neil deGrasse Tyson documentaries, and obviously you watch what you enjoy.
Yeah, totally.
And I love like Joe Rogan podcast when he gets scientists on, they try and explain it
1,000,000%.
to him. But I almost think it's a waste of time. You're never gonna understand it.
Well,
right?
because
What's the point?
like
But
ultimately,
we're not meant to understand it
No.
either. People going, well, if you don't try, you'll never understand it. It's like, no, trust me. You don't want to know the meaning of life. You don't, because it will ruin it. It will take away all the mystery. It really will. Like, if someone offered me a book of my life, right?
oh, I'd fucking.
I wouldn't go to the last page.
You would be like, oh hello. You would give a little
Sneaky peek. But it would be terrible to take away
Imagine
the
you had a
mystery.
book to your life.
Because
Oh
if
my God.
if it turns out shit, right,
Fuck.
I would just go and ice myself straight
I
away.
would fucking cry. Imagine.
Yeah.
Imagine it's shit. Oh,
Exactly.
imagine all the work you're trying to do.
Yeah, especially now we live
Fuck.
so much longer as well. You've got more
I know.
bollocks to sit through. if it doesn't work out the way you want. And I tell you what would be even scarier, right?
Fuck.
Is if they gave you a book of your life and it's like a pamphlet, and you're like, why is it thin? It's like, 'cause you ain't living that long, motherfucker. And then you'd be paranoid for the rest of your... Say you've only got 3 weeks to live. You'd be paranoid for them 3 weeks rather than just enjoying them.
Oh,
You
no.
know?
That's made me feel all type of ways.
That's the worst thing I think about long-term illnesses like cancer, is knowing you're going to die. Oh, that would be terrible. I mean, we're all going to die, but like actually knowing it soon. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
That's a dark point.
I want a lorry to come out of my blind spot, and the last thing I see is just like little bit of light from the headlight.
Thank God.
And I'm like, oh.
Oh,
Looking around.
Where are we? Fuck.
Yeah.
You got fucking gonna get reincarnated as an alien.
In the ground, yeah.
Yes. I think there is a part of that where it's like if you fixate, like, I'll be brutally honest, I get sucked into it and I get so lost in it and the meaning of
The space stuff.
Space, meaning of life, fucking death, this, not knowing, is it worth it?
The truth is, there is no meaning, right? Because everyone, at the end of the day, let's say for argument's sake, there is a heaven, right? If you go to heaven and you meet up with all the people that you knew, you would all chat. Like, if me and you saw each other in heaven,
Yeah.
I would be like, fucking hell, that was mad, wasn't it? Talking about life, right? And then we talk about our own meanings, because no one has the same life.
Imagine that.
But no one has the same life. No one has the same experience. So there is no meaning, a universal meaning. It's just everyone's individual meaning, right? And that's the point of learning.
Million billion %. Yeah. Imagine that, though.
The universe tries to understand itself through us. It's created us to try and understand itself. The universe doesn't know where it's come from.
That just blows my fucking brain, mate.
Because,
like,
what
are we talking about right now? We're floating around in the middle of nowhere.
Well, it's just basic physics, right? If you find out God's real,
I don't know
if you found out God was real, something would have had to create God, and then something would have had to create that, and it just goes on and on and on.
Of course, it's endless.
It's completely endless, and the real meaning of life is infinity. Probably it's 100%. Nothing.
But then you're
just goes around the circle.
Exactly to your point of physics. Someone is trying to talk to me about physics, but okay, what then? We're then hydrogen and gas. Yeah. Okay. What's before that? There's no heaven. Okay. What's before hydrogen and gas? Yeah. Fucking stumble on your words a bit more, because none of it makes sense. Exactly to your point, it's infinite. So forever it to be infinite, then is life infinite?
Yeah, it is. And
like,
what
the fuck are we talking
there's
about?
loads of different. Well, it's like an onion, right? There's layers. So
an onion finishes.
But you exist in one layer, right?
Yeah.
So let's say me and you are in one layer of the onion right now. Okay. Let's say that we could be in the exact same position we're in now, the same time on the 4th of September, but you could have a kid. Or I could be married, or I could be gay, or I could have one leg, or you could be blind. It's just the same thing, but each time something else is tweaked. Just even this amount of dimensions out there are infinite, really.
Oh my God, my fucking
and they're
heart.
almost exactly the same, with one tiny thing tweaked each time.
Like the multiverse.
Yeah, you could have the exact same life me and you've got now, where there's nothing changed, like I just said. The only thing that would change is, like,
imagine
this phone would be black, and that's it.
It's in another universe we're sat doing that. That's tripped me the fuck out.
Yeah, and that's what deja vu is, really. You just
deja vu is that's someone you've done this before, like.
Yeah. That could be anything. That could be past life, or it could be you done it 10 minutes earlier in the other dimension, and it's just like feedback that's got caught. Because you know how, like, if you turned on an old TV, the box TVs that we grew up with as kids, if you didn't put it on the right channel, it'd just be that grey fuzzy screen. That's a signal from space. Your antenna would pick up just like radio waves that'd be bouncing around up there. That's the first signal we ever received. When they first built a TV and turned it on, they were like, what the fuck is that? I didn't know what it was. It was picking it up from space. And we're literally getting feedback from space. So no wonder people have, like, insane dreams. Like me, myself, right? I've had some unbelievable dreams where I've woke up and questioned whether even this I don't even know whether this life I'm living now is my actual life. Because I've had dreams, even in the past, like, week or so, that have been so vivid. I'm like, fucking hell, it's almost impossible to discern the difference, really.
Yeah, I do
You
know.
know.
I had one recently, which was a bit like that, and I was just like, I woke up and I was. Do you know when you're so convinced that, I don't know, it sounds so weird, like like if there's someone in your dream that they are, like, you're so close to them.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I don't fucking know them like that, but like
Yeah.
in the dream, we're like best. Like we had a whole storyline had occurred,
Yeah.
and then you wake up and you go, so that didn't happen.
Mm.
So that didn't happen. You're telling me that did not happen.
Well, I mean, when my granddad died, I had one of the most insane dreams, probably about a week after he died, where in the dream, I could feel the touch of his hand on my shoulder, right, and I was there, right, talking to him. Now, that might not be well, obviously it's a dream, but it doesn't mean it's not real. Maybe our brain is so powerful, right, that my sorrow was just it transmitted me across the planes of the universe into a dimension where he still is real. He's still living. Maybe that's what a dream is, because I was listening to a story yesterday. There was a guy, right, who worked in a meat packing plant in America.
Yeah.
And his colleagues shut the door behind him and locked him in by accident. Didn't know he was in there. He went in early and started on his shift. They come in, gone, oh, everything's blah, blah, whatever. And he's like freaking out, right? As you can imagine.
Yeah.
We don't know this. It's just assuming because he's inside the fridge by himself. Anyway, it was the end of the shift. No one had let him out. No one had gone back in there. The next morning, they found his body. He died from hypothermia, right? But when they went in there, all the meat had gone bad. So the thermostat had broken, right?
Yeah.
But he was so convinced that he was in the fridge. So basically, he was in the fridge, but it wasn't cold. The thermostat broke. But he panicked so much that he'd been locked in the fridge. He tricked his brain into thinking that he was cold. And he died of hypothermia induced by his brain. That's how powerful the brain is. And it wasn't even cold. He still contracted hypothermia in a room temperature fucking fridge.
That's fucking so unfortunate.
Yeah. How bad? Obviously it's sad.
Yeah,
it just goes to show how powerful the brain is.
No, it's fucked.
And we only use like 10%, you know what I mean?
100 million%. I mean,
so,
like no one...
if we used the full capacity, like we could probably like Heroes, that show.
Yeah.
Really, all Heroes is just normal people that have more than the however much we have. Like we have like 10% capacity.
Now, why do you think that is? Like what?
I don't know, but if 10% of your engine works, you wouldn't be able to get off the driveway.
Exactly. So what the fuck is going on where we've been giving 10%? 10% when you have we have everything else.
Yeah, well, when people look at things
Don't
like...
try and give me an answer to this. You can't give me a fucking answer. My point is, it's fucked up.
Well, I could give you a theory. So the reason that, you know, when people talk about, like... When you look at things like rituals, magic, things like that, right? We always associate them with being myth, right? But those myths are always in a certain time period. They're always in like medieval times, or in ancient times, like Egypt, stuff like that. We don't think of them as being today. Only like Harry Potter is like a modern day representation of magic, right?
Yeah, big up Harry Potter.
Yeah, great series. But maybe the reason that it is back then, we think of it as being back then, is probably because those things were possible. Because people's brains weren't fucking fried and mush like they are today. Because we consume shit. We absorb shit through our screen. Our water is full of shit, right? There's nothing clean. The air is horrible, especially if you live where we live, around Heathrow. Fucking hell. You know what I mean? I go away to Cornwall or something, and I come back in, I'm like, back to wheezing. I'm like, what is this?
What's changed?
So maybe things like that did exist back then because people had more access to their full brain capacity than we
nuts,
do now.
Isn't it? Like there's so much that we take from the past in terms of like health and well-being and fucking remedies and shit like that. And it's like, apart from modern day medicine, which is obviously like incredible, but how many practices do we take that are modern day? Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
because
exactly.
like
Even our GPs today. You go to the GP, it's a waste of time.
Don't give me that.
GPs get paid bags, to do nothing.
I've seen.
They look at what your problem is. They then go on Google.
No, they go on their like intranet thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
And then they
crazy.
go, I think you've got this.
But
And then I'm going to send you to someone who actually knows what they're doing. So you coming all the way here is a waste of time. You could have just gone straight to the hospital.
It's like.
And that's what we pay our tax for.
It's a crazy
Cunts,
part
man.
where they have to deal with. They have to know a vast amount of very different issues, should we say? But they do then just have. I've literally sat there and they've gone on their intranet or the fuck they do, and before they've done that they've gone to giving me something, and then they've then typed it in, and they goes, oh, this is telling me not to give you that, and I was like, what? So wait, hang on a minute. You, the person that I meant to trust with my body and my technically life right now, you were going to give me saying that the computer is now telling you not to give me, but you yourself were going to give me it. Yeah, so we're not going to give you that.
Yeah.
Well, now my trust levels are very off. And you're right. It's like what's that fucking? It's like they. Oh, fucking forget the fucking analogy that I'm looking for.
They should be off. I remember when I went to get the booster, right? I didn't want to get any of the vaccinations, but you know,
You boosted up.
I wanted to go on my stag do's, right?
You got a 5G integrated into you right now.
Yeah, probably. I remember I went to get my booster, right? And about an hour before I went and get it, I smoked a joint. So I go in there, and he's like, "Oh, I don't know whether we want to administer this to you." And I was like, "Why?" And he goes, "Oh, you know, I can clearly see you're stoned." And I was like, "Yeah."
You think that's the bad thing that's going inside of my body?
Exactly. Yeah. You're worried about that I've inhaled a naturally occurring herb that grows on the planet, and you're gonna put some fucking liquid made by fucking who knows who, God knows
Bill
what
Gates.
in it. Yeah, exactly. Into my fucking bloodstream just so I can go on holiday.
You fucking cunt.
Cunts, yeah.
Oh god.
And I was just like, do you know what? Don't give me it. Like, I don't care, mate. I'll just go somewhere else. Like, you're a pharmacy you're a small family-owned pharmacy, right? If you don't want to, fine. Don't get paid for it. I don't care.
They get paid for it.
Yeah, of course they do.
I don't understand any of that.
Mate, no one does anything for fucking free in this world.
No.
Someone's getting paid somewhere down the
Or
line.
someone's getting ripped off. That's one of the two.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I just.
Someone's getting rich. Someone's getting poor. It's peak.
Yeah, and he was like, oh, and then he said, the woman who actually injected me, she was like, say that you. She goes, say that you smoked because you were nervous about needles. I'm like, oh, okay, fine. And I did, and he was like, all right then. I was like, how gullible are you, mate?
What? You went away and then came back with a different mask and I went, oh hi. Oh,
No.
I'm
It was
scared
at
of
the same
needles.
time. It was. I did actually end up because it was like 2 days before I went away.
Yeah, but what do you mean? Like, yeah, but what? So
Because I guess some people maybe do that if they are scared of needles.
wait, hang on. You were allowed to go away when you had an injection 2 days before you went. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't have to like incubate for like 2 weeks or a month.
Fuck knows.
I don't fucking understand
No.
any of it.
I've done all this shit for Spain, printing off all these forms. Do you think anyone checked
No
them?
looks, bro.
No, they
Don't
didn't.
give
Just
a
go
fuck.
through.
Get through, man.
Go through.
Get through. Don't give
Support
a
our
fuck.
economy and we'll still beat you because you're English.
Oh, it's fucking
Thanks very
nonsense, man. It's nonsense. That whole fucking 2 years, 2.5 years. What a fucking. Listen, we're not going to talk about that shit. I cannot be fucked one bit for our first episode to talk about fucking COVID 100. I'm going to just shit about that anymore.
Oh, people
I don't even
still
fucking
believe
know.
that.
I don't even have a train of thought. That's what that piece of shit's done to me. You play United today. What are your
4:30.
predictions? Is it 4:30? I thought it was 2.
Nah, 4:30.
Thank God
2,
for that.
2 o'clock is another game. Don't know.
Thank God for that. Do you have a prediction?
It's at Old Trafford, isn't it? I don't know. We're both in good form. Yeah, we don't tend to really win at Old Trafford.
Thank God.
So I don't
fucking hate
think
you
we'll
lot so
win.
much, but
If we ever beat them, it tends to be at the Emirates. But I don't know. I mean, every game's a test.
yeah.
So I don't really want to go down that route.
Right. We won't give a result then. We spoke about on one of the previous
It'd be
episodes.
2-1, but it could go either way.
Okay. We spoke about this on the previous episodes, which the world will never see because we can't record shit ever correctly. But we discussed about...
If only one of us worked at a technology company.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about that. We discussed the inconsistent use of VAR prior to this, and after yesterday's what could you class yesterday's football as? I would say it was also along the lines of them not being tech savvy because I don't have a fucking clue how you can. Did you see I don't know which part you want to talk about first. Maybe the Chelsea game, because somehow people think it's our fault that is. Then did you see it?
Well,
if you know what I'm talking about. Did you see the fucking penalty? Not penalty. The fucking goal disallowed due to the foul.
Nah, but
Mendy.
I actually did watch Tuchel's press conference before I came here. But I didn't see the incident. But I mean,
that is a great take. Thank you.
What? You can't change nothing. Like, we've moaned for years.
No, but you can though.
The FA is shit. They've always been shit. They're never going to stop being shit because the Prem is just used to make obscene amounts of money.
Obscene.
They're all getting paid. They don't give a fuck about us because they know we're going to consume it anyway.
Oh,
and VAR, you can have all the technology in the world. If you make the perfect machine, but you still let it be operated by a fucking human, there's going to be errors. You know why? Because people are stupid.
Bias.
I'm stupid.
They're biased.
You're stupid.
No,
everyone's stupid.
Everyone's got a bias, regardless of which way they fucking
people just fucking stupid. Everyone has a lapse in concentration all the time. I do. Like, there's things I've fucked up at work that I shouldn't have fucked up because I either just didn't care or I wasn't paying attention. You know?
Human error.
Yeah, exactly. There'll always be human error.
Yeah, but
the second you replace human error with robots, then we're all fucked.
No,
anyway.
but
so you're gonna have to deal with the human error.
Yeah,
otherwise, no one's gonna have any jobs.
Yeah, we're talking
about
on the fucking VAR. Fuck AI for the moment. But the point of VAR is so that the human error can get mitigated. So there's less likelihood of those errors, right?
Yeah.
And still, we seem to be in a position where either referees take too much advice from VAR and don't want to go with their natural first instinct, which I think's wrong, because your first instinct typically I would say, as long as you're up on pace with the match and you've got good fucking eyes, you should be able to see, right?
Yeah, but part of football is errors and shithousery. That's what makes it great. If every game went the way it should, every decision was correct.
But then why do we do so much to get to a point where everything should be correct? Like, we shouldn't be in a stage now where offsides are a thing. You're on or you're off. There isn't this fucking, oh, well, this looks...
But it's so tight.
To
the naked eye, the machine can capture...
Advantage to the fucking attacker.
Yeah,
That's
the machine can capture it for you, right? And draw the line.
I hate
Okay,
the line.
but that line is still
lines.
observed by the human eye. You know what I mean? So
yeah, I know what you fucking mean.
Doesn't really matter.
Fucking, it's so bemusing with so much 1 point equals money, right, in the Premier League, and there's so much money at stake these days, where it's like there shouldn't be very rarely is there another industry or whatever where a human error, right, can cost you, I don't know, the 3 points, which then results into a shit ton of money. And that, over the course of a fucking season, can cost people their jobs. And I know they get fucking paid a shit ton, managers and players and stuff. But if you boil it down, just if you forget about that, someone's livelihood, ultimately. And someone's human error can cost somebody their livelihood somewhere along that line.
yeah, but you know that's the way it is in every industry.
Fucking nonsense.
It's the way it is in every industry. People have probably cost me money and probably cost you money, but we'll never know.
Oh, I fucking don't know.
Because it happens down the chain of events,
Yeah.
you know, and fuck it, mate, money doesn't even exist anyway.
Yeah, it's just
I'm
numbers.
not even worried about
Wait,
it.
listen to this one though. I had someone sat next to someone at the match yesterday, and he said that the Premier League was on a decline. He said, "Yeah, we've had our time in there. We've had a high day, a bit like what Italy had. Yeah, Premier League's done now."
Was he a Chelsea fan? Yeah, it's probably very low intelligence.
And in my head, I was like, we've just spent 1.9 billion in the transfer market. I'm pretty sure we're not on the decline, son. And I was like, how can you have an opinion like that? Which is so wrong.
Because people are fucking thick, mate.
That's what I do actually realise from.
And I don't want to make out like I'm better than anyone. I'm thick as fuck as well.
100%, we're always thick as one another, right? Really?
Yeah.
But
we expect too much of ourselves.
Well, yeah, we expect that people are going to listen to this.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. I mean, I get angry at like politicians and stuff. But would I do a better job? I'd like to think I would, but I don't really know.
I think you could do a better job in politics. I mean, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you come from, I've always thought that if you come from a household where, you know, your parents earn over like a combined income of like £70,000, you probably shouldn't be allowed to run for office because you probably don't know what real life is like because you've probably never had to struggle, really.
Well, they're all from
a 70 grand income for a household. I mean, obviously, unless you live a terrible lifestyle and your parents didn't manage their money properly, you probably had a decent childhood.
I don't know. I have no idea.
Whereas everyone who's in politics went to a private school.
Yeah, they're all in the same clique.
Yeah,
it's
they're all
like,
these
fuck
little.
Me. When are we going to have?
They've never been punched in the face. They've never been mugged.
I reckon Bojo's had a few scraps.
Well, yeah, but he's a bit different.
Bojo,
which is why he's been hounded out because he's not part of that little clique. He doesn't fit their mould. But they're all toffs. They all go to private schools.
Yes.
Right. You know, they've never been
thinking
through
about
any
this the other
real
day,
hardship. Never been punched in the face. Never been mugged. Never had anyone in their family on the dole. Never had to queue for like food tokens. They haven't got a clue what life is like. Yeah, they make decisions for us, and the majority of people are in the other boat. You know,
I
fucking nuts, mate.
About politics. I fucking hate politics. Do you think it's easy to become president or prime minister for the average Joe? Just imagine if we were American over there.
It's probably easier to be president because all you've got to do is sell your soul. Really, to be prime minister, you just have to be like lucky. You have to be in the right position at the right time. Because, like, you know, Rishi Sunak and Liz Truss, the only reason they're in this position is because Boris has fucked up so many times. So it's due to someone else's incompetency.
Yeah.
And the fact the media have handed him out, that they're going to get the opportunity to possibly become it. You know.
They're fucking useless, though.
Yeah, exactly. You know.
We've got no hope.
Yeah, exactly.
Mate, why don't we just have it? Why can't it just be? Listen, I think I've always said this point. It's like if it actually mattered our votes, they wouldn't let us do it. Imagine we all voted for fucking, I don't know.
Our votes don't matter. We saw that with Brexit. We voted to leave, and there was still massive campaigns to reverse the decision.
Oh, nuts! Like
it's like that's so anti-democratic. If you
made the decision, that was that. Get over it. I hate to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's part and parcel of it.
You know, it doesn't matter whether it will end up being a mistake or not. It's not how democracy works. You pass a vote, the vote stands, and that's it.
Yeah.
If you start fucking bending that rule, we're no better than fucking Robert Mugabe and Zimbabwe. We're really not. If you start bending, saying, oh, whatever the numbers say on the vote, it don't matter.
Don't matter.
Fucking hell, you're walking a dangerous line there.
Stop the count.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
Crazy, isn't it? It bemuses me to, because I try to steer away from all fucking politics and shit because one, I have no idea, and two, I feel like life is a very simple process. But then I also think you have to please absolutely. Well, I know you can't please everyone because it's just human nature. You're not going to be, but it's like you have to please the vast majority of people, you know, and you want to try and give everyone as good an opportunity as you can. But then unfortunately, the choices we have don't actually make a difference.
Yeah, well, I mean, government is a terrible form of or a terrible way to manage humans. You know, I mean, ment is the Latin word for mind, and govern means control. So the actual title is mind control. I mean, how much more fucking obvious do they need to make it?
Jesus, I didn't even know that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly, mate. They control everything. They control our money. They control our energy. Because what they did was
energy bills. I see some crazy ones. Crazy, mate.
Prices. In this country, it's spiked 215%.
What has
increase?
What has
in energy costs in this country over the past decade? You know, but what they do is they're very clever, right? So
I mean, they're not, but they can't.
yeah, all these companies, right? You know, they've basically just replaced things like the Nazi Party.
Oh my god, fuck me.
They have. They've just taken they've been replaced by companies. You know,
Oh my god.
and that they make out that
Fucking nuts.
they make out that the best way to live human life
How have you
is
how
go and
have
get
you
this
compared
go and get
energy
this
companies
go and get
to
this little
Nazis?
bullshit career where you sit in a board meeting and talk about strategy and
Oh.
KPIs and
Oh,
things that
God.
make your brain just die
Die.
inside and your soul fucking rots in your body. And then by doing that and people going to uni, getting these degrees, having these fucking bullshit office jobs, no one's got any actual skills. So if a war does happen,
Oh, fuck, we're back on war talk. Here we go.
or a natural disaster, people are going to be
Yes.
fucked because no one knows how to fucking. Our grandparents do. Grandparents know how to garden. Every granddad knows a trade or knows how to do something.
True.
All our nans know how to crochet, stitch, cook. You know, people our generation can't do fuck all. No, very few people can cook. Yeah, and I don't mean like chicken and rice, right? Because if you can't do that, you are a div, right? But I can't make a pie from scratch or anything like that, right? I can't even fucking sew a button back on, right?
I'm sure you could sew a button back on though.
No, I can't.
Full
I
of
would have to
holes.
watch videos, right? Whereas my nana could just fucking put anything on for you.
Yeah, but they
Turn
would,
trousers up.
they would have had
I
to-
can't build. I can do like very basic woodwork.
They
My
would have had to
granddad
learn
can.
from
My
somewhere,
granddad
though.
can build a fucking house from the
they would
ground
have to
up.
have learned from somewhere. They don't.
Yeah,
just
because it
fucking-
gets passed down.
Exactly. They're not
But they
just
don't
born
pass
with
it down in our generations
Yeah, okay.
anymore.
Because we would just you learn it from fucking YouTube or some shit.
No, it's not. It's not. It's because they take away.
Fuck.
They take away the things that give us power because they want us to become reliant on them. So then when they raise the energy prices and things like that, we're forced to pay it because we've got
Fuck
no other
'em.
way of getting around.
I fucking hate it.
Yeah,
Fuck 'em
because
all.
you've got a job that's fucking an hour away in Milton Keynes and you've got to go there.
I say we start our own party. I'll run. Fuck it, one day.
Nah, I'll tell you what.
I'm going out. I'm going after it.
What's dangerous is I know myself, and if I came into power, I would just be a dictator.
Would
I
you?
would. Oh, 100%.
You're a cunt. Fuck
I
you.
would.
Would
But
you?
yeah, but this is
Nah,
the
I'll be
thing.
the man
Like
of the people.
people associate the word dictator with evil, but it's not. It's just because most dictators have done bad
Yeah,
things.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess that's
Yeah, but if you actually had someone that was not a nutter,
what is the definition of a dictatorship apart from psychotic maniacs?
it's just one person that dictates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not. I don't feel like that's
Well, yeah, because
quite a correct ruling.
absolute
being honest.
power corrupts absolutely. You know, because it's
Oh.
human nature. If you're in
Talking
charge,
about power, actually, did you? I actually rewatched Lord of the Rings. I know it's a very smart segue.
the series or the films.
The first episode.
Oh, okay. Right.
It was actually
It's shit. It's so
no.
boring.
Do you know what? It
It's
was
so boring, mate.
no. It
Couldn't give a toss.
No, it was all right. If you rewatch.
Oh
it,
well, you've sold it to me. All right.
No, because if you actually rewatch it after the
Should we
shock
go
of,
to that restaurant? That's all right. Oh well.
No. Shut
count
the
me in.
fuck up. No. Once I think the first time round you watch it, there's the shock of how much. If you haven't watched it, go fucking watch it. How much CGI there is, and this time round, you kind of expect it a little bit more, if that makes some sense. So you can kind of take in the world as it is. So I think the more that it goes on,
Yeah.
I think the more your brain will adapt, and you'll be like, okay, I get it now, because you're going off the assumption that it should look dark, gritty, and how Peter Jackson did it, right?
It's not that. It's just that
What do you mean? Of course it's fucking that. Why are you lying?
I don't care about the story. I don't think the actors are particularly good.
You've watched 60 Minutes.
The way, yeah, but I hate it when people don't actually give any sort of importance to lore or anything like that.
I
Like
know you were saying.
the hobbits and the elves, they all look terrible. They look shit. The makeup looks shit. They're just shit.
Do you know what?
Like you look at Orlando Bloom, right? He looked like that's an elf, right?
He looks sick.
And the ones in this show, they don't look like elves. They're just crap.
They're
Just
crap.
fucking crap, mate. Because everyone tried to be woke. It annoys me.
Wokeness.
Yeah, but it's like
Anti-woke.
it just winds me up. Because you look at
25 million people watched it, by the way. So that's
Yeah.
people give a fuck. Hate to say it.
yeah. Let's see how many people watch season
Watch
2
the
or watch second
I
episode.
see that it got fucking put on for. I think Deadline reported that it got commissioned for 4 seasons. 25 million people watched. That's more than House of what's it fucking called? House of Dragons.
If you're Prime, right?
Yeah.
You have unlimited money. Amazon has more money than we could probably ever even comprehend, right?
Prime's lit.
They could do it for 400 seasons, right?
Fuck that. God,
You know?
never ended.
And it's the same with Walking Dead. That's why Walking Dead will never end, because people still watch it.
It's ended, hasn't it?
Oh, is it?
Surely.
Yeah.
Fuck no. It's
That
gotta have
well,
ended.
And who cares about that?
Fuck that shit.
No one.
It was good for about.
Exactly.
Good
But
for
you know,
about 2 seasons.
If people, so say if in 1,000 years this all becomes dust, people will look.
We're so dark and gloomy for a first episode, didn't we?
Well, it's just who I am. People looked back, right, and be like, "Oh, we believe the humans of 2000 and whatever. We believe the best stage production or film, whatever they ever had, was The Walking Dead because it went on for the longest season. So therefore, it must be the best."
They're fucking weirdos.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
So it doesn't matter.
Dickheads.
It
They ain't
doesn't
got a
matter.
clue.
You know.
Can't trust people. You definitely can't
Yeah.
trust future people because, fuck me. Imagine if.
Mate. That's who the aliens are, mate. They're just us coming back to visit.
Yeah, they're already here, mate. It's part and parcel of it. And the either or, if they are not here or that we're alone, both are scary as one another.
Yeah.
Well, on that somber note, we're going to end it here. So thank you so very much for all the millions that have listened. We'll be back. We'll be back in a jiffy. Be lucky. Peace out.
Cheerio.